Now this may look like a plain, good old-fashioned Windows desktop, but there's lots of interesting stuff happening here behind the scenes. I've been using this update for just a little bit now, testing it out, and really liking a lot of the changes that Microsoft has made for traditional desktop computer keyboard and mouse users. And I want to give you a quick little tour of a few of them here. First off, you'll notice that there are different kinds of apps pinned here to the taskbar on the desktop. This is a regular modern UI or Metro app right here. It's the ESPN app. And as part of these changes in Windows 8.1 Update 1, or Windows 8.1 Update, Microsoft is making it so that you can pin modern apps to the traditional Windows desktop taskbar. And what that does is it really enables you to have what feels like a more native experience inside the desktop experience, even with a modern app. Now obviously this shifts to the modern interface. It's an immersive app. But one major change that you have here in Windows 8.1 Update is that you have a title bar right up there at the top. Now this might seem like a minor innovation, and really it's just a small feature, but the nice thing here that's new for keyboard and mouse users is this X right over here, and this exists in Windows 8.1 Update, and you'll be able to, rather than doing the drag and drop method that Windows 8 popularized, or at least had users use, you can instead go up here to the X in the corner, exit out, and you're all good. Back to the desktop. A couple other major changes. If we go back into that Metro app, that modern UI app, you can see that with just a little bit of a nudge, I can bring up the taskbar in the modern UI experience. So another nod here to the context for traditional desktop users, and of course I can then access any of these apps. The Windows Store app is now pinned to the desktop, so this is really a major change for traditional desktop PC users, at least in terms of the default settings that Microsoft is going to be coming out with. Speaking of which, another big change, and again here's the start screen, but if I go back to the traditional desktop, this is where this machine is now booting. This is a traditional keyboard and mouse setup, so Microsoft is now detecting exactly what type of computer you have, and basically taking you, if you're running a regular PC or a notebook, to the traditional desktop rather than to the start screen when you boot up. That was introduced as an option in Windows 8.1, and now it's the default in Windows 8.1 Update, where Microsoft detects the type of machine that you're running based on a sort of a little known setting inside Windows. Here's another change. Here's a picture on my desktop, and I open it up, and it opens it up not in a Metro app or a modern UI app, but in Windows Photo Viewer. This is another change that Microsoft is making by default. If you're on a keyboard and mouse, and your machine is a traditional desktop or notebook, for example, you will be able to have your files, like photos and videos, automatically associated with the traditional Windows programs. Another big complaint from traditional desktop and PC users using Windows 8 and Windows 8.1. So those are a couple of the changes. Another sort of interesting one, if you go back to the start screen, this might not be noticed by everybody right away, but if you right click on one of these tiles, it actually brings up a traditional style Windows menu. It allows you to unpin from the start, pin to the taskbar, uninstall. These were available before by dragging down or clicking and dragging and activating the Windows commands in the modern UI, but now you have this more traditional Windows menu option for regular old keyboard and mouse users. So those are a few of the changes that Microsoft is releasing with the Windows 8.1 update. We'll have a lot more on GeekWire.com. This update will be rolling out free to Windows 8.1 users starting in early April from Microsoft, and then also installed on new PCs. Go to GeekWire.com for much more, including coverage of the news from Microsoft's Build Conference.